Hello everybody, Theo MacArthur here. Now I have literally had thousands of questions from students of my dropshipping course over the past few years. But what I've done is I've collected a few that are really interesting questions, I think, for beginners, and the type of questions that I think I would have myself if I was looking at dropshipping now for the very first time. So this question here is about which e-commerce websites rely on the dropshipping model, and the student says she's asking because she'd like to see some online stores' best practices to use as a model. Now here's the thing, a store that's using dropshipping is not going to look any different to a store that's not using dropshipping. You might be surprised to know that at least 40%, if not more, of online stores are using dropshipping to some degree. So they may be exclusively dropshipping, or they may be dropshipping some of their products and fulfilling some of their products themselves. Even the very big online stores like Zappos, are using the dropshipping model, but you're not going to know just by looking at the store. There have been some hugely successful companies who have relied 100% on the dropshipping model, and one of the most famous ones is blinds.com, and when the founders of that store sold it, they sold it for around $50 million. Now here's a really popular one. What are some failure points for beginner dropshippers? What are the reasons that people give up? Well, there are a lot of reasons, but one reason for failure is cutting corners, or not really building your store on a proper foundation. You need to put the effort in to create a store that people are going to want to buy from, and stickability. But that's no different to any kind of business. You've got to stick with it to make it work and to get the results you want to get. Now here's another reason for failure, resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is not the same as having resources. You could have one person with $10,000 to start a business, and you could have a second person with just $100 to start the same business. The person with $100 may be the one to succeed, while the person with $10,000 may be the one to fail. Now why is that? Because resourcefulness is not about how much money we've got, it's using what's available to us in order to overcome challenges and find solutions to problems. There are always hiccups and there are always obstacles when we start a business and when we're running a business, but we all have the internet, we've all got Google, and we all have a brain, so we can use these things to solve problems and move forward. And that's what I mean by resourcefulness. It is not always about how much money you've got, how much funding you've got, even how much time you've got. It's not always about that. And what are some of the reasons why dropshipping stores fail? Well, we've spoken about some of the reasons why people fail. So these are many of the same reasons, but other reasons would apply to any online store, whether it's dropshipping or not. Perhaps you're not getting enough traffic, enough visitors, and in which case you need to work on that area. And it could be that you've got poor quality products, or you might just not have products that people really want. The great thing about dropshipping though is that you can change anytime you want because you don't have any stock. And another reason for stores failing is poor customer service. But again, these things apply to any type of online store, not just dropshipping stores. Now, the one thing that is different about dropshipping is that we are not in control of the orders that are being shipped out to the customers. So what that means is that whenever we start with a new supplier, a new dropship supplier, we just need to keep our eye on the ball. We need to be watchful, and if we start getting multiple inquiries and complaints from customers about orders being late, things like that, then we need to go to the supplier, we need to try and fix this with the supplier, and if we can't, we just move on and find a different supplier. The thing is, everything can be solved, everything can be changed. There's always a way around things, and there's always a way to improve things and make things better. So for the most part, stores that use the dropshipping model are no different to stores that don't use the dropshipping model. There's a very little difference between the two, and to look at them side by side, you shouldn't be able to tell the difference. Alright, that was just a few beginner dropshipping questions, and I hope you found them useful.